Hello friends, today's lesson is on tattoo needle, like what are tattoo needles, what size are they, what is grouping, and we'll also learn about labeling. So let's start. First of all, let me show you how the needles are made. There are two types of needles, one is traditional, this one is traditional. And one is the cartridge needle. Both of them look like this. I show it open, something looks like this one is standard needle and this one is cartridge needle. Both the needles have the same pins, same grouping, same configuration. There is a difference in its texture, there is a difference in using it. Traditional needle used in coil and rotary machine, its structure is something like this. It's called the loop, it's its shaft and it has its pins in here. These pins have different grouping and different looks, I will explain that further. Inside side in cartridge needle, first I open it then tell. See here, this is the membrane, this is the grouping of the needle and this is its shaft. When the machine presses the shaft the needle moves up or down. The membrane acts as a spring here, just like I'm showing you. This membrane is fitted in every cartridge needle. Needle comes in different grouping, it has taper, size, different diameter. So there is a lot to know, how to identify it. To identify it, there is a labeled marking on top of each needle. Looking here, a code is written. Because of this we get to know what is the configuration of this needle. See, there are 3 pairs here. First 2 digits, then 2 digits, and then 2 digits. The first digit tells what is the diameter of the needle, what is the gauge of the needle. The second digit tells how many needles are in it. And the last 2 digits tell whether it is a needle, a liner, or a shader. Meaning, what is the type of needle, what is its function. There are 2 types of needles, liner and shader. The liner needle is defined by RL and this needle is used for line work, but you can also do filling in small areas. Like on corners, but it is used for line work. The needles of any company come in odd numbers only, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 13, 15. In this way the numbers keep on increasing. And as the number increases, the thickness of the needle also increases. For example, let me show you the sample of our L needle. This is a round needle, its identity is that it is pointed from the front. The mouth of all the needles is attached on one side. Also it looks round, that's why it is called round liner needle. Now let's look at the round shader needle. It looks similar to the round liner, but all its needles are equal. And it is thicker from the front like a marker pen. As we saw the liner, it is pointed from the front, so the needles whose grouping is pointed from the front are liner needles. And the one which is round and thick from the front is called shader needle. It was just talking about the round needle. There are 3 types of needles in flat shader needles, a flat needle which has all the needles in a single line like a flat brush. This needle has 2 lines, but the flat needle has 1 line. Round also comes in shader and flat needle also comes. The needle which has 2 lines is like 2 brushes are placed one above the other. That needle is called magnum needle. There are 2 types of magnum needles also in magnum, see that both look is different. This is called the flat magnum and this is called the round magnum. The magnum needle is also called our M means round magnum, see M covered magnum, SEM soft edge magnum. And the flat magnum is represented by M1, M2, M3. You get all these configurations in the cartridge needle as well. In this also the liner needle and shader needle come separately. This is liner and this is shader. Just like traditional needle. The only difference is the texture. I have already told you that there are different numbers in coating. Look at the numbers next to all the needles. Its code is 08, its 10, and its 12, also comes in 14 numbers. Number 12 is the standard range of needles most artists use. Needles number 08 and 10 are bug pin needles which are sharper than number 12 and 14. This needle has to be used with some care. According to their numbers, their gauge is like 08 means its needle will be 0.25 mm thick, 0.25 mm its thickness is of a needle. Similarly, if 10 is written here, it means a needle of 0.30 mm is fitted. If 12 is written, it means a needle of 0.35 mm is fitted. If 14 is written, it means that a needle of 0.4 mm is fitted. Okay, so their gauges are set according to mum. The numbers in the middle like this mean the number of needles. 05 means this needle has a grouping of 5 needles. 11 means this needle has a grouping of 11 needles. 05 means this needle has a grouping of 5 needles. Now we come to the last digit. This one is needle magnum, this one is round liner. This is the round shader. Tattoo needles have a taper. Taper refers to how sharp the needle is. I am showing you a photo. See how the taper is done in this photo. The tighter the taper, the sharper the needle. Short taper, medium taper, long taper and extra long taper. The smaller the taper, the lower the sharpness of the needle, and the longer the taper, the sharper the needle. So that's how we identify the taper, but the taper isn't very important when tattooing. Just be careful what needle you are using. With the liner needle, you will line and fill color in a small area. With the round shader, you can fill color in a small area or make a thick line. With flat magnum you can fill solid color, and with round magnum you can do soft shading. Like can be used in portrait tattoo or realistic tattoo. See you in the next lesson. Thanks for watching.